Hello to all you beautiful beings tuning into today's message. This is the Crow's Nest. I'm your host, Crystaljoy, Wounded Healer. And what I have for you is today's guidance messages. So what it is that we need to be aware of and focusing on for our day, and the best guidance based on that message. Now, for those of you who have been following my channelings, you might be interested in, or my readings, sorry, you might be interested in checking out the channeling that I just posted. Yesterday I went on my hike. If you were watching yesterday's reading, you knew about that. And there was an interesting experience that I had along my journey yesterday that really spoke a lot, quite literally, about the messages that I've been seeing coming through in the readings that I've been posting in the last couple of days. Now, being general messages, I want you to remember that even though this was an experience that I had quite literally in my journey yesterday, that those messages were not just for myself, they're general messages. And so whatever information that's there that resonates for you, that was information that was meant to find you. But if that resonates with you, you might be interested in checking that out and seeing how the information that's been coming through in the last few days about the scenic route that some of us have been taking in regards to our spiritual journey and our path. If you're interested in seeing how that quite literally played out in my day yesterday, you can go ahead. I'll link that for you guys in the description, and you can watch that channeling video that I've just posted. But we're going to go ahead and jump into today's messages. And I want to let you know that as I was cleansing the cards, grounding myself, preparing, and calling in my higher counsel, I was seeing some really interesting things. I was having popping in my ears, much like what happens when we're in a plane, when we're ascending or descending in a plane. And the other thing I was seeing was quite literally almost like a spirit, my soul, if you will, elevating up out of my body. And so along with the popping in my ears, I'm feeling that for some of you watching this today, very, very much experiencing those ascension symptoms. And the reason being is because you are ascending. We are now either just entered in or about to enter into the Sirius gateway. So very, very powerful time for us all at this moment. And I'm still learning about some of this astrology, okay? So forgive me for not having more details on the Sirius gateway, but you know, if you're not hearing about, if it's your first time hearing about this or you're not familiar with it, do look into it. I've been, learning a little bit about the Sirius gateway and the significant role that it plays and the impact that it's going to have for the timeline for the next few years to come. So, and this is something that I believe happens every year as well. But let's go ahead, jump into today's message. And the stone that I'm using today on the tarot deck is my other silicone carbide. So this was a stone that I used the other day. I wasn't even saying the name properly. But you can see, for those of you who did see, this one is a little bit different than the one that I used previously. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you. So I'm using both of my silicone carbides today on both my decks. So this was the stone that I showed you all the other day. So this one, it reminds me more of like a meteor, just the way that it's shaped. The one on the tarot deck today, you can see it's just quite different in their color, their shape, appearance, all of this stuff. And so once again, I'm looking at these stones and I'm seeing the different colors, the vibrancy, so vibrations, dimensions, ascension is really, really what I'm seeing from this. And again, the chakra system. So, it's always important to keep our chakras aligned and in balance, because that's going to help us to move forward with the greatest sense of ease, is what I feel the need to say. So let's go ahead and find out, what do we need to be aware of and focusing on for our day. Now I'll tell you, as I was shuffling, getting ready for this reading, the cards are so jumpy today. A lot was coming through for myself. I believe I was receiving messages from my Divine Masculine and my Twin Flame journey. So a lot is happening right now. So we should get a nice, interesting message today. So the cards, they did not want to blend together there for a moment. So that might be a message for someone. Okay. And I'm having a really intense ringing in my ear at the moment. It's such an intense ringing that it kind of throws me off balance for a moment. So I was just talking about balance alignment. For some of you, I feel the need to say that you need to ground yourselves, because as we ascend, you know, we're activating our higher chakras, and so grounding ourselves really important at this time to help us to get through this transition in terms of the physical symptoms that we're feeling from our ascension. So what is it that we need to be aware of and focusing on for our day? That's a lot of cards. Okay, so we did have the King of Wands come out. I'm not even going to look at these cards. I'm just going to go with the this would have been the top vibration and the bottom vibration. Wow. Oh. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Give me 1 second here. This is interesting. This is a very interesting message. I am picking up a divine masculine, and I am seeing a lot of the cards that came through for me as I was trying to shuffle. This is a lot of cards. Okay. What I had first was the King of Wands upright. So we are talking about a natural born leader, vision, entrepreneur, and honor, okay? So what came through for me as I was shuffling, I actually might put this for a twin flame reading, excuse me. I know I haven't done a reading for the Twin Flame Collective in a couple of weeks. I do apologize. A lot's been going on for me, and I have been working towards finding the time to get a reading up for you. I am going to go ahead and mark this as a twin flame reading, though. Suddenly I'm feeling very unwell, so I just want to take a minute to ground myself as well. I have my eyes closed and I'm seeing the sun, which was a card that came out for me while I was shuffling, and I thought it was messages coming through, not about my masculine, but directly from my divine masculine's higher self. So I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to go with my intuition on this one here, as always. So what I'm seeing right now, this King of Wands right here, this natural born leader, vision, entrepreneur, honor. So what I saw in what was coming through as I was shuffling was my masculine was telling me, once again, doing more work in regards to the ego death, the shadow work, all of that. So I am feeling, for those of you who you are a divine masculine, or it's resonating for you that your divine masculine could be doing this inner healing, a lot of inner purging, you know, some death moments, tower moments, all of that stuff, releasing all of the swords, the Three of Swords, Ten of Swords, really, really putting in incredible work, painful work, but I mean, applauds for whoever that is. But now I feel that this masculine or these masculines that I'm channeling or picking up for, or picking up on, are stepping into this King of Wands, stepping more into this. I'm seeing the Emperor, strong sense of power and authority, a knowingness of who they are, knowingness of their self-worth. I saw that come through for me in reverse on one of the cards. What was a delay for my divine masculine was still trying to tap into their understanding of their own self-worth, was what I was understanding. So I feel that again, whoever I'm picking this message up for, these divine masculines are now starting to embody this King of Wands. As I'm doing this reading, I'm like itchy all over my body. I don't know what that is. I'm scratching my face and my arms. I feel really just itchy. I don't know what that is. Okay, so forgive me if I'm like just twitching a lot. That's interesting. This King of Swords. Okay, so um these masculines, you masculines, whoever this is, you've stepped into this King of Wands. You're starting to embody this King of Wands more. And what we have to follow that is the King of Swords. So, embodying this King of Wands more, because you are gaining this sense of mental clarity, intellectual power, authority, and truth. I was really feeling that, really seeing the Emperor coming through. Okay, so and I feel that masculines, you have gained a sense of truth in regards to a situation that's helping you to see things more clearly, and you are also embodying your own truth more. Who you are, you're embracing yourself, right? um and seeing the King of Swords and the King of Wands together like this, I really am feeling like a sense of not just shadow work and ego death, but learning how to work with the ego, how to balance the dark and the light within yourself. Next to that is the Judgment, okay, in the upright position. So this is talking about judgment, rebirth, inner calling, and absolution. So it's like divine masculines, your judgment day has come. You're seeing truth. You have this mental clarity now. You're stepping into your power, your authority, really embodying this King of Wands energy. Excuse me, my throat chakra. And really, it's giving you the sense of rebirth, renewal, this renewed hope. I'm feeling again that Sun card. I'm feeling that really intensely, even though it's not here. It is no, it's not here. It's not here. So I am feeling it. And this absolution, masculines right now, the Empress also came through for me. I'm really seeing right now, masculines, you're going through this experience, going through more of this healing, this ego death or balancing of the ego, um, really, really starting to see the connection. Um, really, really tapping into trying to understand your own self-worth and value, because you have this sense of truth and knowingness and an absolution in how your divine feminine sees you. And so you're trying to understand, um I don't want to use the same words as another reader, but someone else used the term, um what was it that they had said? Spirit just totally cut that off, so they don't even want me to say it. Just this, how do I explain that? Yes, it's coming back to me now. So the term that they had used is masculines trying to understand the profoundness of what kind of love is this, and that's what someone else had said to, in a reading that I saw this morning. And masculines trying to tap into their self-worth, really understanding that for themselves, their self-love, because it's this there's a sense of this judgment being in regards to having an understanding of how your divine feminine sees you, views you, how much she loves you, they love you, forgive me. And it's given you this sense of absolution in, you're not only exploring what kind of love could possibly be that profound, that deep, that long lasting, everlasting is what I'm hearing, but an absolution, like you absolutely are understanding the truth in this. And that might be some of the truth that what you're seeing in regards to the King of Swords here. Okay. Moving on, we have the Two of Swords in reverse, right? This has been coming through a lot for the Twin Flame Collective, particularly for the Divine Masculines, talking about the indecisions, the confusion, information overload, and stalemate. So for some Divine Masculines, I want to go back to, it's been a while since I brought it up, but I'm feeling that with the Two of Swords right now, when the Divine Masculines begin to awaken, it happens much quicker than for the Divine Feminines. Divine Feminines have quite some time to go through the awakening process and to ease into the transition. For the divine masculines, I quite literally see it as, stick someone in a slingshot, pull it back and let it go. That's their experience in this journey. And so I do feel this like information overload is just, this ascension journey is a lot. I was having really intense ascension symptoms. Okay, so for some of the divine masculine collective, their ascension journey is quite intense. And there is a need to also take some time. Not to overdo it with yourself. What did I see in what came through for me earlier was about this sense of carrying a burden. It was like almost like too much to bear at once. And again, with the Two of Swords in reverse, it's been coming through a lot for the Twin Flame Collective in regards to masculines having this need to make a decision. And it is creating a sense of a delay. Okay, so for some of the divine masculines, there is still decisions that need to be made. And, until those decisions are made, things might seem or feel like they're at a stalemate, but behind the scenes, a lot is really happening at this time. And next to that, yes, the Ten of Swords, it's in the reverse position. This is so fantastic. As soon as I touch that card, wow. The head symptoms, the ascension symptoms are really intense. So please do take time for yourselves, divine masculines, if you are feeling this like nauseousness, dehydration, pressure in your head, ringing in your ears, like a bomb went off in your ear. If you feel that, do take some time for yourself. And I feel the need to tell you to hydrate. Like I just feel so thirsty all of a sudden. And the Ten of Swords in reverse does talk, I don't even want to touch that card. The energy is just making me feel so sick. Recovery, regeneration, and resisting an inevitable end. So for some of the masculine collective, this delay, this stalemate is this resisting an inevitable end. So this going through this this shadow work at this time, I feel like some of you are not resonating with ego death when I use that. So shadow work. It was really tense. I just realized that. Yes. And it's interesting that I felt that tension as we're talking about resisting this inevitable end. But once we go through masculines, this going through like this inevitable end, like there's something that needs to come to a completion to help you to move forward. But I feel like it's painful for you, whatever this is, to let it go. It's very painful for you to let it go. I feel like there's something else with this Ten of Swords here. And, really, I feel like there was something else here that I'm missing as well. But going back to the Ten of Swords, the recovery, the regeneration, I am feeling a strong need to let you know to just take some time for yourself, because the physical feelings and symptoms that I feel when I actually physically touch this card are really intense. So do take some time to heal yourself. And this recovery and regeneration, for some of the divine masculines, it's like that there's like this Ten of Swords, this resisting an inevitable end. That it has to be put to an end. But there's like a sense of indecision and confusion with it because it's painful for you. And for some, I think I said that already, that's the delay. And this is the information overload too I'm hearing now is this investigation in regards to what needs to happen to put this to an end, whatever this is. I feel like for some, it might even be speaking about a karmic situation or just this final lesson that needs to be learned or needs to be had. I had the Wheel of Fortune come through in the upright in my reading, about karma, cycles, completing. Okay. or in the cards that were coming through as I was shuffling anyway. I took them as for myself. But I'm feeling like that connected to these cards as well. So let's move on here. Next, we have the Four of Swords, okay? So, right away to follow the Ten of Swords, talking about rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation. So a strong need, right here I have 3 cards in a row that I'm feeling this need to, give you this guidance to take some time for yourself, to rest, to relax, ease your mind. I'm feeling a sense of tension, and I feel like this information overload, this trying to figure out how to put an end to resisting this inevitable end, creating a lot of tension for you. So just needing to kind of take a step back from that for a moment, taking some time for yourself, recuperating before kind of diving back in. The Seven of Swords is also here, and it talks about betrayal, deception, getting away with something, and acting strategically. And what I felt when I saw this come through when I was shuffling was it was a message from my divine masculine about if some of you in the collective feel that there might be a sense of manipulation or ghosting or just that kind of not to put shame or guilt on anyone, but a lower vibrational kind of behavior or energy, if you've been picking that up from your divine counterpart, what I am feeling from that is the divine masculines are feeling that they have caused a sense of deception or betrayal. They feel that it was a wrongdoing to act in that way. And this deception, the divine masculines, they very much love their divine feminines. So any behavior that might make the feminine feel that a wall has just gone up in the connection, the divine masculine feels like it was a deception. It was deceptive of them to have done that because it wasn't their intent, their true feelings. But also I feel the need to say that in the twin flame journey, when there is that kind of, when there is any kind of ghosting or, a lack of communication, that's time when a lot of work is being done, okay? And like we're seeing here right now, and like what the cards that I literally had the Tower, the Death card, the Ten of Swords, it's here right now. Really, a lot of inner purging, a lot of healing. I think I saw the Eight of Swords as well, releasing a lot of negativity, a lot of negative self-talk, right? So, yes, so when there is this disconnection, this lack of communication, any kind of ghosting, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But the divine masculines that I'm picking up for right now are feeling that it was an act of deception towards their divine feminine. There is a feeling of being apologetic for having done that. The Seven of Swords talks about getting away with something and acting strategically. So it was a strategic act, whether the divine masculines were aware of it in their 3D physical or not. When the ghosting happens, or when there is a separation or a lack of communication, that's divine guidance, time for that inner healing, okay? So it was a very strategic act, whether the divine masculine was aware of it or not. It was a very strategic play, something that needed to happen in the journey, if that is happening or resonates with your journey. The next thing that we do have is the Hermit. So this is about, it's in reverse. I felt the need to look at it in the upright position, okay? So I'm feeling a transition with this energy. So masculines for quite some time have been in this state of isolation, loneliness, and withdrawal. And this need for, I feel a lot of masculines have been using that time to to do some inner healing and reflecting, but I am also feeling a sense of avoidance as well. This isolation and withdrawal has just been a tactic to just kind of unplug, pull away from a situation, from having to face a situation or the journey. But I'm feeling now that it's more of this upright position, the soul searching, introspection, being alone, and inner guidance. So right now, masculines, like I said, really taking this time to do this inner, the shadow work, really doing the soul searching introspection, searching for that inner guidance. I feel like Masculines, the divine masculines, are actually much further along in their awakening than most realize. And this inner guidance, I feel that some masculines have been quite in tune with that for some time. So really, really taking that time for themselves in their own energy so that they can tap into their own guidance. Because I feel for the masculines, going back to this King of Swords, this truth, this intellectual power and authority, mental clarity, I feel like masculines are really finding that King of Swords, that energy for themselves when they are in that hermit mode. And then the next thing that I'm going to keep that up, right? The next thing that we have is the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. So this is talking about being overly emotional, easily influenced, bitchy, and cold-hearted. Now, with the Queen of Swords, what I'm feeling right now is the masculines being in, wow. This actually is really intense. Um, okay. At the beginning of, okay, so we had the King of Wands come out in the beginning, kind of like the crowning energy for this. Masculines embodying that King of Wands, but finding this King of Swords energy while they're in this hermit mode. And I'm feeling the divine masculines. I've been saying it in some of my twin flame readings, the divine masculines starting to embody more of their feminine energy, and the divine feminines embodying more of their masculine energy. Okay, with this Queen of Swords, what I was feeling right away in the reverse position was the divine masculines were feeling overly emotional for some time. They were very, very just emotional. And, I'm seeing like cups energy, right? Just a lot of emotion. And what I'm feeling now is the divine masculines. I'm picking up again about this embodying the emotional aspects of themselves, embodying more of their feminine energy. And the reason why I picked up this King of Swords here is we have the King of Swords at the beginning and the Queen of Swords in the end. Okay, so like they're both swords. The other thing that's really interesting to me is the King is upright and the Queen is reversed. So it's like we're quite literally looking at a yin yang right here of the masculine and the feminine energy. So masculines are really doing great work in regards to this shadow work, this inner healing, and really starting to balance the masculine and feminine energies within themselves, which brings me back to this excuse me, throat chakra, talking about this alignment. Masculines, for some of you, this alignment, this final piece of alignment that might need to be had is in regards to the throat chakra, communication. And as I was shuffling the cards that I saw come through, there was talk about masculines. I think it was the Page of Swords having new ways of communicating, or was it the Page of Wands? A lot of wands. New ways of communicating. So I feel like this is the next step, is the communication. It needs to be had. And the other thing that I saw that was at the very end, before I started to record this message, was the Empress. So this is what I feel the divine masculines are very aware that they're moving towards at this time, the reason that they feel the need to do this work. And I just heard clocks ticking. I'm hearing what is that? Is that Alice in Wonderland? I've never seen that movie. Forgive me. I'm seeing a rabbit, and he's holding a pocket watch, and he's saying tick tock. There's like a rhyme. There's a rhyme that they're saying. This rabbit is a masculine, and they're saying tick tock. There's a rhyme, and then he runs away. So I feel that masculines are really feeling this need to, kind of, they feel that there is a time element here, a time sensitive situation, excuse me. And I feel a sense of the masculines are feeling that there is, time is running out a little bit. So very interesting message. I will have to do a daily guidance message, because I feel very strongly that this is a twin flame channeling, and this happens to me sometimes if I don't do a reading for my twin flame journey. It's like my masculine quite literally finds ways to communicate with me. I've taken back my energy. I'm focusing, still very much on path with my twin flame journey, still very much committed to that, but also putting myself first, very much committed to myself first. And whatever happens in regards to my twin flame journey, it happens or it doesn't, right? I just have to surrender to that, and be willing to accept whatever does come my way. Very much in that place right now. And oh goodness, I feel very cut off from that message. That's very interesting. I suddenly just got really cut off from that. But I felt like I was very much going somewhere with that. And now I feel very dizzy all of a sudden again. This is very interesting energy that I'm picking up today. Definitely a strong need for taking time for the self and a lot of hydrating. I just feel really thirsty since starting this reading. I wish I could remember what I was getting at a minute ago. I think it was in regards to this, for the divine feminines who are taking back their energy, still committed to their twin flame journey, but focusing on themselves first. What's been happening for me is, I sent out an energetic message to my divine masculine about where I'm at in my journey and being very open and receiving to any, to having him come back into my life, but also, being very committed to myself and anything that might come up for me, whether that be him coming back or not. Very much open and into receiving whatever does come my way, because I know that I deserve to receive whatever it might be that I do receive. And so ever since having done that, I'm just feeling my divine masculine is finding every and any way to try and communicate with me, whether it be through my tarot cards when I'm not even trying to channel a message. Like I haven't even been doing readings in regards to my specific journey. And so sometimes if it's been a while when I'm shuffling, I notice the cards come through and it's my divine masculine and he's just like, I got to talk to you. Music, TV commercials, I'll overhear conversations that other people are having, and I'm like, la 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 la, turn my mind off to it, because I'm like, as much as I love the connection that I have with my twin flame, in this journey, I know that the oneness is there. I know that we're connected and that they are with me at all times, always and forever. But also in this place of, divine feminines, if you're being ghosted, accepting that that's not behavior that you should accept. And, this, how do I want to put this? In a state of understanding what's happening on the other end, but also, for myself, I'm cutting the communication off in the 5D, because I'm at this place where I'm like, if there wants to be communication, it has to happen, on a physical level. It can't be, all this telepathic communication anymore. There has to be a change in the connection if the connection is to move forward. And so this is what I'm noticing now, is just after some time of trying to block everything out, and just trying to encourage more of the physical aspects of the journey and not just the telepathic aspects, the 5D aspects. Seeing more of this 3D coming through in ways, like, physically in the cards, and things that I'm watching and hearing physically. So really interesting, that this message would come through as I'm trying to do a message for the collective, but not surprising, because again, I've just been so closed off, not closed off, but focusing on my own energy, my own path, that it's almost like the masculines are at a point where they're really trying to bring forth this communication in any way that they feel that they can be heard. But I also feel like there's a lot of feminines out there who are in the same place as myself, who are like, it's great, this telepathic 5D stuff is great, but it's time to to move it on to the next phase of the journey, if our counterpart is ready for that. So let's jump into the angel number guidance and see what the guidance is for this message. And this reading wasn't quite what I was expecting. So what I'll do is I'll get some guidance for the masculines, bringing forth this message for us. And then we'll get some guidance for the feminines watching this message as well. So what is it that the divine masculines bringing forth this message? Okay, there's one. The best guidance for them at this time. This card got bent, and I'm going to take it. I feel like there was a reason that it got bent and stuck out to me. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to take these four. They just were really sticking out to me. This one flew out of the deck. Okay, so angel number 4. Wow. Okay, so this is about organization, trust, loyalty, and patience. And I feel that this is the masculines going back to this King of Swords and this, there was another card I was talking about masculines really trusting in their intuition. This inner guidance, this hermit here, this King of Swords and this hermit, right? Angel number 4, organization, trust, loyalty, and patience. Masculines really learning to trust themselves. They've been very much trusting in their intuition already, in this inner guidance that they've been receiving from the self. Just realized the flame on my candle is really high. That's not normal. I always cut my wicks really short. So very interesting. Very interesting. A lot of energy. I'm feeling a lot of energy right now, honestly. We also have here about traditional values, inner wisdom, and your angels are sending you love, support, strength, inner guidance, and encouragement. Okay, so that's really strong, really, really strong. This inner wisdom and this hermit here. You know what I just heard, actually? It's like the divine masculines 5D is like the divine masculines are so awakened right now. They're so tapped in. They're so aligned with their 5D, that like their 5D is guiding their 3D, and they're quite literally aware of it, is what I'm feeling and hearing right now. The divine masculines are their own inner guidance, and they know it. It's really interesting. It's like they know that they are guiding themselves. Their higher self is guiding themselves in the physical. It's very interesting. So be aware that that's the strength that the divine masculines do have. And masculines do know that your angels are for everyone always. It never ends. But, when they come forward and tell you this, it's that much more significant, that they want you to be aware of the love, the support, the inner strength and encouragement that they are bringing you to get you through this inner healing. I don't see it come through for a lot of other readers. I very rarely see it happen for other readers, but once again, this angel number 4 and this 4 of Swords, I put them together and I right away see 8, abundance, but I'm also picking up, and that could be some of the symptoms that I'm feeling. It happens for me a lot when I channel for the divine masculines. I'm picking up again substance abuse, you guys. Trigger warning, I'm sorry. But someone is healing through that. They're working through it, whether that be, drugs, alcohol. It could be things that they're using as like a distraction, things to be dependent on. Okay, like TV, video games, tarot readings. What was it yesterday in the reading that I said that divine masculines were being guided to disconnect from their feminines a little bit? For some of the divine masculines, the codependency was their feminines. So masculines watching this, if you're the kind of masculine who you keep an eye, a very close eye, very frequent close eye on your feminine to see where she is in the journey, what's going on for her in her path, and you use that as your guide, I do feel that you need to disconnect from that a little bit and be your own guide, right? This I was feeling it. Yes, I was just saying about this masculines, they're 5D guiding themselves in the 3D and they're being aware of it. So I'm feeling that again. If the codependency for some masculines is just keeping too close of an eye on your feminine and seeing where she's at in the journey, retreat from that a little bit, okay? Just relax a little bit. Just chill a little bit. Trust yourself, okay? I don't know why I put that in the reverse right now. That's not reversed. Okay, moving on. We have angel number 888, guys. Honestly, I was just looking at 4 and 4. I saw 8. Now we got 888. Amazing. And masculines, you're gonna love this. Angel number 888 for me is a message of money that's incoming. Okay, manifestation, abundance. You've been working really hard in regards to really interesting. There's no pentacles here today, but I know the masculine collective has been very much working in regards to their career, safety, stability, their structure, their foundation of their legacy, I'm hearing. So do know that that work, that effort you've been putting in is coming back to you. Just continue to have trust, patience, loyalty to yourself, and stay organized, right? I'm hearing the word haste that came through yesterday. Yes, the King of Wands is right here, right? When that's in reversed, haste, ruthlessness, excessive, high expectations, impulsiveness, right? Don't do that. Don't do it. Continue to stay in this upright position, because this was in reverse just the other day. Now we're seeing this King of Wands upright. This was the card that fell out as I was shuffling, as our sort of crowning energy, that energy that the masculines are really embodying in this time. Okay, so hold that, masculines. Do not go backwards. Okay, hold that. You're doing great work, and your angels are here to let you know that not only are they giving you love, support, encouragement, but they're also helping to deliver you the blessings that you've very much been working hard towards. The other card that stuck out to me was angel number 35. I love this card. This is a card of positive life changes are ahead. You know, number 3 is a card of alignment, a catalytic event, okay? And 5 is all about change, okay? So something's happened that's helping you to see the truth, have this mental clarity so that you can see the truth, go through this judgment, this rebirth, hear the call. I'm hearing, hear the call. Okay, because in reverse, the judgment is about ignoring the call, but it's not reversed. You're upright. You're not ignoring the call. You're hearing the call. So yes, the positive life changes are ahead. What? 888, that money you've been working towards. And I'm also seeing the Empress card right now too. So it's like the divine masculines, higher selves have stepped in, and it's just like, I want my feminine too. I don't just want money, I want my feminine. And you know, passions and life purpose may come into question and review. We see that happening right now with this judgment, okay? So your angels are letting you know that not only are you going through this, but brace yourself, there's more to come. But I feel like masculines, whoever this is a past test for you. The work that you're doing right now, I feel like there's no way that you're going to fail this test at this point. And the next card that we have is angel number 505. So a sign from your angels that you are about to begin a life-changing spiritual awakening, and that you do have great divine support. So I feel like you're already embarking on that, and you're aware of it. I really am feeling strongly that the masculines 5D and 3D are very much aware of one another and are very much working together through this shadow work, this balancing of the masculine and the feminine energy, the swords. And the swords in the tarot deck is fast moving, very fast moving. Okay, and great divine support. So, you know, we're always all divinely guided, divinely supported, protected. But, you know, seeing this card right now, it really is a confirmation for me that this is a message for the Twin Flame Collective. I feel very strongly, once again, that this was information coming to us from the divine masculines themselves, their higher selves, to deliver this message. But I also do feel that this message was very helpful for some divine masculines who are going through this at this time. So that was the guidance. I almost forgot to get the feminines their guidance, because I literally was about to close and divine feminines were like, wait. um I hear you, I feel you. So let's get some guidance for the feminines, myself included, please. What is it that the guidance for the divine feminines, um I always like to make them so specific, or we get just such general vague messages. The divine feminines who their counterparts are going through this part of the journey at this time, what is the best guidance for those divine feminines as their counterpart is going through this part of their journey? One card. Ooh, I like it. Oh, wow. Angel number 420. You are on the verge of a soul mission discovery and give support to those around you. So this is really interesting because the divine masculines just had angel number 35 come through. No. What was I seeing? Yes, angel number 505, about this sign from your angels that you are about to begin a life-changing spiritual awakening. Divine feminines, now you have verge of soul mission discovery. So a sense of an alignment here, right? Because the masculines are tapping into the spiritual awakening, the more 5D elements, aspects of the connection. And feminines, I was talking about this need for some of us to be grounding. And feminines, I feel the feminines are grounding at this time. It's interesting because the masculines are very much in the higher chakras right now, really doing this spiritual work. Feminines are very much in this state of, we've gone through this already, this intense awakening journey. And now we're just holding our energy, holding our frequency, connecting to Gaia, connecting more with ourselves, our ancestors, our spirit guides. Really, really interesting. So understanding better, feminines, more of the soul mission discovery here on earth, here in the physical, but masculines are very much working on their soul mission discovery in their higher realms. Okay, so I'm feeling like a balancing as well of this. Masculines are in the higher chakras, feminines are in the lower chakras. So once again, a balancing of the yin and the yang. But also feminines, the guidance for you in this time, not only to continue to hold your energy and to continue to explore the part of the journey that you are aware that you're exploring at this time. I feel some of you are very much aware of what it is that you're doing in this time right now, and giving support to those around you. And so for some of you, I feel like that is your work. It's interesting. Again, I don't usually like to, I'll link the reading that I saw, that I heard this from, because this is twice now in this reading that I feel the need to say something that I heard in another reading, but it's both of them came from the same reading from the same reader. I very much resonate with her content. So I'll link that for you guys so you can watch it. I definitely don't want to hijack anyone else's reading information. But what was I getting to? This, what she was saying, her name is Meredith, and she was saying about even just giving a smile to other people. And I say that, when I talk about this giving and receiving, sharing generosity, sharing your riches with the underprivileged, it's not literally about giving money to the poor. It's, even just sharing your energy, coming out of hermit, just moving through life, being who you are, really does light the way for other people. Even if you just help one person, you've done great, tremendous work. And I know for some of you, you're like, it's not enough. I just want to heal the whole world. And that's typical light worker. I think most of us feel that way. And so for the divine feminines, going back to what Meredith was saying in her reading, is giving support to those around you. Even just lend a smile to someone who you think might need it. You're just so powerful, divine feminines. The guidance that you're giving right now, very strong. One message, just continue to, this self-love that you have for yourself, let it overflow, let it pour out, let everyone around you see that overflow, and let them. It's interesting because as soon as I say that, I'm seeing a waterfall, and it's just like, feminines, that's you. Like, you're this energetic waterfall, and when you walk through life, it's just like a water park. It's just a really weird analogy, but I'm just seeing it that way, of just you have this love, and it's just like sprinkling all over the place, and love and happiness and peace, and you're just, I'm seeing a child now skipping around throwing flower petals in the air, and it's just like all the people around you, it's like those little flower petals are landing on them, and it's just like this magic comes over them, the magic that you're embodying right now. You know, you're going around and you're sprinkling love everywhere, you know, not even realizing that you're doing it, just in loving yourself. This is you, you're sprinkling love, and this love, people are catching it, and they're catching the love that you feel for yourself, they feel it for themselves. And it's literally just by being yourself. So continue to do that, to continue to give support to the people around you, just by continuing to love yourself, embrace who you are, and the energetic frequency that you're embodying right now. Continue to hold that vibe and continue to share it with other people, because you do help other people when you do align with the sense of oneness. And that goes back to the channeling that I published just before I started to record this. So I've linked that for you guys as well. Do give that a watch. And a little bit of a longer reading today, but I do hope that it helps you guys out there. And I'll hop back on. I'll do a general guidance reading for the collective if that's what you guys came to look for today. I'll make sure I get that for you as well. So I'll see you soon for that. And as well, Twin Flames on Friday, we'll get another Twin Flame reading for you guys. And, as always, moving forward daily, we'll do our collective guidance messages. This is the Crow's Nest. I'm your host, Crystaljoy, Wounded Healer. Be well.